ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ओम वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानंदं कृष्णं वंदे जगद्गुरुं। हरि ओम। On the very first day, I mentioned that this 18th chapter is the most wonderful chapter which summarizes the main themes and various themes of this Gita mentioned in earlier chapters. And that's what we have been seeing here. Even though Arjuna asked what is the essence of sannyas and tyaga, but Bhagavan is taking that opportunity to wrap up his entire teaching. Now see, in the third chapter, at one place he said, Lokesmin dvividha nishtha pura prokta maya naga jnana yogena sankhyanam karma yogena yoginam. He said two kinds of nishtha I have spoken. One is jnana yoga and karma yoga. In the sixth chapter he said, Aru rukshor munir yogam karma karanam uchyate yoga rudhasya tasyaiva shamah karanam uchyate. Means the one who wants to become a yoga rudha, means established in yoga, the first step is karma, and then next is shama, means sannyas, jnana. So there he says karma and jnana. Here he says karma and shama, right? So, and here the word used is sannyas and tyaga. So we should remember karma, karma yoga, tyaga is one and the same thing. That will prepare the mind for the called shama or sannyas or jnana. Then you will find the whole topic is very, very beautifully connected and there is no contradictions anywhere. Now here also we saw that person recognizing his or her gunas according to that karma, and that karma should be dedicated to God and which will purify the mind, and he will start meditation. So first is the action, selfless action, then meditation. So we are in the topic of practice of meditation. And in this, one aspect is to withdraw our mind from objects, and the other aspect is to turn its attention to the subject, the self. So what we have seen earlier, here, Vivikta Sevi, go to solitary place and all that we have already seen. So, they are all external preparations that are done. Now more and more subtle he indicates, and he says, abide in the self. That's how the whole scheme is there. And now we read the shloka number 53. The man is sitting in meditation. So in meditation, how we have to sit, what we have to think, everything is indicated. In 6th chapter, elaborately, now only just hinted. Okay. Ahankaram balam darpam kamam krodham parigraham vimuccha nirmama shantaha Brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Such a person, now with a purified mind and who has done Shravana Mananam, now when he sits in the meditation, see there are certain obstacles. For obstacle like, you feel drowsy or the mind, runs here and there. And that running about is there because immediate causes are there. But when the mind has become Shanta, then subtler thing also keeps coming, And therefore it is said, all subtler impurities of mind also must be, ahankar, egoism. That ahankara is what? Identification with something. Ahankara is a sense of individuality which comes from identification. Identification means feeling of oneness with one thing or the other. So give up that. Now what happens is, in the beginning yesterday, as I mentioned, a householder sits as a householder, so all thoughts of household only comes to your mind. If I sit as an organizer, all thoughts of organization will keep coming in my mind. Because that identification is there. Now here you sit as a meditator. But slowly that, I am Brahma only. The thought should be, Aham Brahmasmi. So no identification with any grosser, subtler and subtler. Not that even I am meditator. What is that? Chidananda Rupa Shivaha. Shivasmi. Asangoham. Satchidananda Rupoham. That was no other aham. Not even of the meditator. Aham Brahmasmi only. Ahankaram. Balam. Now balam is power, strength. Now what is this power, strength? You see, in the Gita at one place Bhagavan says, Dharma aviruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarshava. He says, I am the strength of the strong, and which is not opposed to righteousness. That strength I am. So any other kind of strength and that drop that. I am such a powerful person, whichever way. Physically, financially, politically, or I am spiritually also growing in power. Drop that. Balam. Darpam. Darpam. What is darpam? Darpam is arrogance. It's called darpam. You know, the mirror is in Sanskrit called darpanam. Interesting word, isn't it? Darpana, mirror. You know why? Because when you look into it, darpam nayati. So then you feel so. Feel like it is peculiar kind of. And our darpak, abhiman can be for anything. And generally, the common general word, it is said, druptaha dharmam atikramati. A person who becomes arrogant about his power, about good look, about any kind of thing, then he transgresses the limits and bounds of right, good conduct. That's called darpa. Rishtaha drupyati, druptaha dharmam atikramati. All our analysis is very wonderful. And we know that when somebody becomes very arrogant and all that, the nature will be that he doesn't care for good etiquettes or manner or behavior and all that. Someone says there are two types of people. One is have and have not. That is known. And some people are behave and behave not. So that type of people also are arrogant. So no arrogance about anything. Ma kuru dhana jana yavana. Dhana jana yavana is the ordinary one. But in the spiritual seekers also, they can develop kind of, hota hai. Sometimes we feel, these people are unspiritual. And himself was that only. But when you start following them, suddenly you think that you are holier than thou. No such kind of thing. So they can be subtle, because this ahankara, bala, darpa, they have got very grosser aspect, and they are very, very subtle. So that is where you are identifying. Now your thought must be only Brahmasmi, bas. No, Then kamam, krodham, parigraham. Kamam is desire, krodham is anger. When desire is not fulfilled, then anger comes. Now here the desire also can become subtler and subtler, isn't it? In the meditation also sometimes so subtle. Mind will become calm and suddenly I will become a realized person. And I will thunder like this, that. So that desire also becomes, to realize, like, when you are too anxious to go to sleep also, you can't sleep. Here also that. Then your anger also comes. Kya ho raha hai? You feel sometimes like a magic wand should come and tell the mind, shh. Mind कहता तेरे जैसे बहुत देख लिए. I have seen many like you who are you asking me to just calm down, quiet down. It is so easy. So desire, anger also comes. No. Parigraham. Now parigraham is accumulation. See, one is the accumulation of the external objects. We are very fond of collecting things. Collector's item it is. Oh, collector's items. Do you really need it? Need or not? I have told you, once, I think I had told, that we buy things which we don't need with the money which we don't have to impress people we don't like. So all the parigraham we had done so much of collection, accumulation, and बिचारी वो कार को भी बाहर रहना पड़ता है, गराज में सारा सामान रहता है वहाँ. Even though the garage is meant for car, but वो कार को जगह ही नहीं होती है. That the car has no place there. And garage sale, this is outside, but inside how much we have collected, do you know that? See, whatever we collect outside, it rises from inside only, no? I must have this, I need that, and I should have that, and whether I need it or not, but my neighbor has, therefore I should have. This I must have because my neighbor doesn't have that, therefore I have. Oh, what kind of logic that is there? Huh? Well, in this way we go on collecting. Why? It all because inside. Janma janmantaram samskara vasanas collected there. Drop all that. Tendency of collecting, hoarding, accumulating and all. And then it becomes so difficult to manage. And you must have seen, if you travel with a big suitcase, you have got a tendency of filling it with so many things. But if you say only limited what I'll try, so automatically you think, only what will fit in this, that much only I will take. Isn't it true? But then the people go on wherever the picnic, outing, vacation. So one suitcase they take empty. So because it will be filled while coming from there and all that. So and afterwards we ourselves do not even know what all things are there. Even in your a drawer of a table, you don't know how many things are there. And even your wardrobe, you do not know how many things are there. And actually for day-to-day life, you need only few things, So parigraham here is not only external about, but internal about. Drop, Baba, drop. How much you are going to? Ahankaram, balam, darpam, kamam, krodham, parigraham. So they are the grosser level, and then when you are sitting in meditation, the subtler thing must be understood. Itna garbage ikatta karke rakha hai, there's so much in the mind. Outside, at least the government will send garbage collection day also is there, यहाँ पे कौन आएगा? Only you have to clear it. You have to clear it. Like your all the mailbox gets filled. Delete. And you should take delight in deleting. So here also a parigram vimucha, release, सबको delete कर दो. Parigram vimucha nirmamaha, free from all possessiveness. Nirmam means all this possessiveness. Because sometimes we may give up things, but possessiveness remains there. But that also gone. Parigraham gone, nirmamaha. Then when they have shantaha, shanta, brahma bhuyaya kalpate, then he becomes fit for becoming Brahman, means for realizing, experiencing his Brahma Swarupa. You see, in the 5th chapter, Bhagavan says very nicely, कि this Brahma Sukham comes, upaiti shantaryasam, Brahma bhutam akalmasham. This Brahma Sukha comes to that person whose Rajoguna has become Shant. And this Ahankar, Bala, Darpa, Kam, these are Rajoguna's expressions only. So when they become Shant, you feel so nice. I don't know whether I should give that example because you may not like that example, you know. But now I have mentioned, so I had to give you, see, whether you like it or not. Sometimes you eat so much junk food, this, that, and then your stomach, you know, and then some nausea and feel like throwing. You don't feel good at all, isn't it? That happens, you know. And then, you know, do something and when it comes out everything, उसके बाद कितना अच्छा लगता है. है ना? I don't want to elaborate on that. But you feel so good that that is gone. एकदम अच्छा लग रहा है. So just think, when all our physical body, when all these toxic things and all that go away, how nice we feel. So just think, when the mind also will become free from all that, just even your thought of that also will please you. ये कितना अच्छा लगेगा, जरा सोचो. That's what he says. Ahankaram, balam, darpam, kamam, krodam, parigraham, vimucha, nirmamaha. No possessiveness, shant. And such a person, Brahma bhuyaya kalpate. And then what happens? Then he realizes, or kya? And then what happens? When he becomes Brahma Bhuta, then Bhagavan is giving a story. Because like, you know, when we tell children some story, there was a king and he had 2 queens. Then, and you know, then he had a prince. Then the prince was told, you can go in all directions except south. But he went to south only. Then, no, I am not going to tell you this story. My story ends here. Now here, by karma yoga, following, the mind is relatively purified. Then through meditation, more purified and more becomes fit for Brahman. Then, now let us see what happens. Then, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Na Shochati Na Kankshati Samas Sarveshu Bhuteshu Mad Bhaktim Labate Param. This Brahma Bhutaha is this person now who has now realized his Brahma Swarupa. What happens? Prasannatma. Prasanna, already I told you, cheerful. One meaning. One is completely purified. He becomes as pure as Brahman only. And how pure is Brahman? Our Sant Jnaneshwar Maharaj says very beautifully. He says Brahman is so pure that even the word Brahman has not touched it. What a wonderful way of saying that. That word Brahma also has not touched it. It is so pure. Like touch me not. Because कोई touch नहीं किया उसमें. Gurudev's stewards are the immaculate, extremely pure, purity itself. So prasanna is that also. I told you prasannam jalam, pure water, transparent, no dirt at all. So then his mind becomes Brahma Swarupa, as pure as that, Prasannatma, Ananda Swarupa. Then na shochati, na kangshati. Neither he grieves over anything, nor he craves for anything. You see, the idea is, as long as we are ignorant, unhappy, incomplete, unfulfilled, then we have got likes and dislikes. If I get this thing, I will be happy. Then if I get that, I feel very happy. If the other thing comes, I grieve. But the person is Ananda Swarupa. No personal likes and dislikes, no dependence on the external world. So why should he grieve over anything? He is not worried about his own body also. Prarabdha sutra grathitam shariram prayatva tishtatu goriva srak. That's what Shankaracharya wrote. Yes, this body has come, is woven by the threads of prarabdha karmas. So as long as they are there, it will remain there and it will go. So if that Brahmavetta doesn't even worry about that, like goriva srak. You put a garland on a cow's neck. A cow ko pata hai kya hai hanging here? And suppose that garland falls down somewhere. If it remains, remains. It falls down, falls down. Hanging, hanging. Na shochati, na kangshati. Jaleva, sthaleva, akasheva, wherever the body dropped and all that, he is not worried about that. No attachment to that, no attachment to anything. So what is grieve over what? Na shochati, na kangshati. Then how he remains? Samas sarveshu bhuteshu. Same towards all beings. Same towards all. Why? Because he has realized Madatma Sarva Bhutatma. My own self is the self of all beings. Therefore, he does not have any likes and dislikes for material things. No likes and dislikes for any places or people or any events or no such kind of same. So towards all being same, and in all experiences remaining same. Same does not become dull, kind of he feels nothing. Not that. But the equanimity, equipoise, all that is not lost and all that. Not moment to moment elation, depression, elation, depression. ऐसा नहीं है. Ananda Swarup. The fluctuations not like that. That is called Samaha Sarveshu Bhute. And the next statement is most wonderful. Mad Bhaktim Labhate Param. And then he gains my devotion. Parabhakti, supreme devotion. See, because bhakti also has got many, what you call levels. Bhagavan Sri Krishna in Bhagavad he has given. He said there are 3 types of devotees. One is called Uttam Bhakta, one is called Madhyam Bhakta, and third is Samanya or Prakruta. 3 types. What is Uttamam, the best devotee? The best devotee is in his eyes other than Bhagavan, Brahma, there is nothing. He realizes that Paramatma as his own self and his own self as the whole world. So is Sarvatra Brahma Bhavana. Vasudeva Sarvatra. He is the best. No distinction of division of any kind. Everything, every being, everything is Brahma Swarup only. So Bhagavad Bhava alone is there. Now second is, the one, still he is at such a level that some duality he sees. That this is God, he is a devotee of God. This person is very ignorant, suffering, poor man. The fourth is now, The one not that wonderful, has no respect for any great things. How he looks at them? So he has got love for God, friendship with the devotees of God, and those who are ignorant, suffering, compassion for them, and those who are anti-Bhagwan, anti-good values and all that, he doesn't hate them, but say, namaste, namaste, hum nahi samajhte isse zyada. Just keep distance. In other words, keep no hating, but Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. How fine, thanks. So it's called upeksha. Prema, Maitri, Daya, upeksha. So he has got these 4 kinds of responses. That itself is great, huh? He's a Madhyam Bhakta. Who has told all this? Bhagavan Shri Krishna. Where? In Srimad Bhagavat. Then you'll ask, where in Bhagavat? Oh, so you are taking my examination, 11th canto. No, don't ask more than that, which chapter in that 11th canto. There are many chapters in that, for you find out now. Yes, you have given this much reference. Google. Tasmai Googlaya Namaha. So 3 types. And then who is the Samanya Bhakta? Samanya Bhakta is what? The one Archayam Eva Harehe. The one whose devotion is at the level of only worshipping Bhagavan in some idol. More than that he cannot understand. If you say, the one whom you are worshipping, he is there in other place. Faltu baat mat karo. Mere Bhagavan to ye. This is my God. Because you will find these devotees, their devotion also is particular place. Na, in Mumbai they go Siddhi Vinayak. Are but this Ganesh Mandir neighbor, oh Ganesh itne powerful nahi hai. They have what? I tell you that feeling is there. Tirupati, Balaji, Tirupati. Tirupati mein jaake jo hai na, he has got power. Nasti Venkatesh Samo Devaha. But in your own city also there is Tirupati, Balaji, Tirupati. I told you, no. Tirupati, Tirupati. This is called bhakti, unki particular idol, particular deity that only there. That is good, but that much only. You cannot say anything more than that. That's called Samanya Bhakta. Now Bhagavan says, Mad Bhaktim Labate Param. Now Param Bhakti, in Naradji's verse called Parama Prema Rupa Bhakti. And our Gurudev used to say, what is prema? How do you measure love? Love is measured in terms of identification, in terms of your feeling for oneness. So you become so one with Bhagavan, there is no distinction at all. And that Bhagavan is there in all. Then Parabhakti is, then it is love for all. That Parabhakti about which in the Bhagavad only it is said, Bhagavan says, I am generous in giving mukti, but little miser in bhakti giving. Huh? Very conservative Bhagavan. He doesn't give this type of bhakti to everybody. Only when person says, I don't want even mukti also, then he gets this bhakti. Santa Tukaram says, Nalage mukti dhana sampada santa sangadhi sada tukamane garbhavasi sukhe ghalave ammasi. Tukaram says, we are ready to go through all garbhavas, living in the womb, and but Bhagavan, we should not forget you, that's all. And no mukti dhana sampada, nothing. That type of bhakti is very difficult. That is the highest thing. Parama prema rupa. total identification. That's what called Uttam Bhakta, that in Gita, Bhagavatam it is said. This bhakti comes in Jnanottara Bhakti, sometimes it is called. This prem which arises after this realization, it is incomparable. It is anirvachaniyam prema swarupam, indescribable, cannot be said anything about it. Naradji says, Mukha aswadanavat, like a person mute, dumb, who has no speech to speak, and he tastes something, and then if he is asked to describe how it was, what describe? He cannot describe, because he has got tongue to taste, but not tongue to speak. That is called Param Bhaktim Labhate. Oh, so bhakti stages are also, as long as sadhan roop bhakti, definitely bhakti is easier than any other path. But bhakti is higher and higher and higher, and nature is very, very subtle. Now Bhagavan says, with this bhakti, he really understands me completely. No. That means what? When the mind is purified, when the mind is turned towards that truth and all that, you experience that, and then you get this devotion. With that, really you understand what Bhagavan is then. Because now you have experienced of that. But then, understanding is, I tell you, with reference to Gurudev, I always say, I have been saying that first time I saw him, and the first time itself I knew he was a great person. But how much great? Even now I have not understood. We try to know, to experience one thing, but it's infinitude, how will you know? So here Bhagavan says, now with this devotion, he really understands me. Experience ho gaya. And then you understand something. See the level of bhakti. Therefore now, beautiful shloka number 55. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tattvataha tato mam tattvato jnatva vishate tadanantaram. Bhaktya mam abhijanati. Now with this para-bhakti, this supreme devotion, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, all are given up. In Tulsi Ramayana there is a very beautiful doha of Bharatji. Bharat, when he goes in search of Rama, he says at Prayag, the beautiful arthan dharman kama ruchi gati na chahu nirvan janam janam rati ram pada yah varadanun. He said, this is Vardhan I want. From Triveni Sangam Snan he was saying, ki dharma, artha, kama, moksha, I don't want all this. Janam janam rati ram. Only whatever life, even if I have to take, doesn't matter. But my love for the lotus feet of the Lord should keep growing. That's all I want. With this kind of bhakti, it is said, bhaktya mam abhijanati. Then with the abhijanati means abhitaha janati, means from all round. understanding. Total, comprehensive, I don't know what word to use. He understands me. And what is yavan? Yascha asmi tattvataha. In tattvata, in essence, he understands yaha, what I am. Yavan, how much I am. The magnitude is that infinitude only. Ram ananta ananta guna amita katha vistar. Everything of Bhagavan, ananta, ananta, ananta. We use the word, but we have no idea what is ananta. And why don't know what is infinity. So he says, with this parabhakti, he really understands what I am. How infinite I am. Tattvataha, that word is most important in a sense. You know, when we read books and we read so many things, so we get, yes, some kind of inkling and all that. That actually should only inspire us to realize this. Because there is no description possible. So, tattvataha. Then, tatomam tattvato jnatva, and then, having understood me, realizing me in its my true essence, vishate tadanantaram. Then he merges in me completely, totally. One very interesting episode that I read in Srimad Bhagavatam, is most fascinating actually. Bhagavan took Kapila avatar as son of Kardam Rishi and Devhuti. Now, Bhagavan himself has taken the avatar and he has, as the son of Kardam Rishi. And Kardam Rishi, after some time, he says, Bhagavan, namaste. I am very lucky and you have come. Now I want to go and meditate. Now, somebody said, Bhagavan has come to her. Now you want to leave him also and then meditate. What is this? And Bhagavan said, yeah, that's right, go. That means what? Even Bhagavan, if comes in a particular form and as your son also, but even he will disappear. Only your own Atma is your own. Baki kuch nahi hai tumhara. Kisko pakad ke baithe ho? Tatomat vishate tadanantaram. Now, even after being Bhagavan as avatar, still he says that now I will go and meditate on Atma. And Bhagavan says, yeah. But isn't it something very fascinating? Say yes. See, Srimad Bhagavata and all that, oh, to ras hai, ras. And when you read this Gita also, in the light of all that Vedanta and Bhagavat and Ramayana and all that, iski bhi beauty badal jati hai ekdam. Oh. Then only we understand all the meanings of that to some extent. Ki tatomam tattvato jnatva vishate tadanantaram. Then he enters into me. Means what is that? How infinitude that of Paramatma is. Our Ramakrishna Paramahamsa is a very famous example. The doll made up of salt wanted to know the depth of the ocean. Uska hi pata nahi chala, wo kahan chali gayi. Where that doll disappeared there. Galitadhir brahmaivana brahmavit. That only buddhi only is blasted completely. Has gone that buddhi which he went to know and all that. Vishate tadanantaram. Now, this is called the essence of sannyas. Don't think that Bhagavan is digressing anywhere or anything like that. So, when he said, worship the Lord with your karma, that is the essence of tyag. And now what he has said, it is the essence of sannyas. Because sannyasa level, how much the deeper level. Therefore, Bhagavan comes back to his advice. So Arjuna, are you listening? Yes. So now I am coming to specific case of yours. Yes, Bhagavan. Now I have told everything and all that in science and Shastra. Now I am direct advice what you have to do, that I am telling you. And we all sitting here should not think it is Arjuna only. Oh, तो अर्जुन को बोला था. He told Arjuna. I am not Arjun. Now we are sitting here, so we must listen to Bhagavan's Updesha as though we are Arjun only and we are listening. So now, having said the essence of Tyaga and Sannyas, now Bhagavan coming direct to that Arjuna. And his case, at pointing out, and they say that you will have to do it. First he said in general way, then very specific in the second person, he will tell. First third person, and then second person, and then one more thing, and something is there. Why should I say now? When it comes, so Bhagavan says, therefore, Updesha for everybody. Sarva karmanyapi sada kurvano mat vyapasrayaha mat prasadad avapnoti shashvatam padam avyayam. Therefore, Arjuna, having told whatever the essence of Tyaga and Sannyasa you had asked, so therefore now I say, therefore this is the advice and statement for all. Then Bhagavan comes to him directly also. He says, Sarva karmanyapi sada kurvano, sada always, kurvanaha, doing, performing. This kurvana is called present participle form of what I call the grammar. Means always doing, performing only. And Bhagavan says sada, always, at all times, places, situations, circumstances, sarva karmani kurvanaha api. Means whatever that you are, in that state, whatever your kartavya karmas are there, always performing those karmas, madvyapashrayaha. Madvyapashraya means taking refuge in me. With my support, dedication to me only, that person, anyone who does, then mat prasadad avapnoti shashvatam padam avyayam. Bhagavan is saying, then by my grace, that person attains avyayam, immutable, shashvatam, eternal, abode, that is, which is his own swarupa, which nobody can take away from him. Grace. Grace. Now this grace is always a topic of discussion. You know, what is grace? What is grace? What is grace? Once I wrote one called Anugraha Panchakam also, 5 shlokas on grace. It appeared also in Tapon Prasad that I am given. But I will tell you one thing. There is a very, very famous shloka. Very famous shloka. As I start, you have to complete it. Will you? I don't know which shloka you are going to say and all that. Mukam karoti. Very good. See, I knew that you know. You see, Vande Paramananda Madhavam. You bow down to Bhagavan, Paramananda Swarupa. Who is that? Yat Krupa. Whose grace Mukam karoti vachalam makes even a dumb, mute person, vachalam means eloquent speaker. Oh, mukam karoti vachalam. And sometimes some people talk too much, then your grace makes them mukam. One speaker went going on and on and on, and then one man in the audience said, when will he stop? When Bhagwan's grace will descend on all of us, then this man will stop talking. And one speaker was speaking and going on and on and on. And one man got so really fed up and furious, and then he took one stone and just threw at him. But he missed the target, but the secretary sitting next to him, he hit the secretary, and he just swooned for a few. And he recovered. And he said, please hit me again. He's still talking. When he swooned for a few seconds, he found great relief. So he said, hit me again. Anyway, mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim. And a lame person climbs the mountain. So what does it mean? The grace factor is that which makes even difficult thing also easy, impossible, possible. What you think, if you look at your own life from childhood onward, you must have failed. Many times you must have seen certain thing, I don't know how it will be done and all that. And then you find it is done. And you can't take credit also. Even though some people take credit. In the beginning they will be anxious and dekh, maine ye kiya, what kiya? Darpok to you are getting over anxious. And now you say that you did it. So what appears as difficult, impossible, that also happens. Now somebody asked me, Swamiji, so you are giving examples, something difficult, impossible happening, but sometimes something doesn't happen. So by grace something difficult happened, or suppose it did not happen then, I say that also is grace. That it did not happen. You understand? Because if it had happened, maybe it would not have been good for you. So it is very good it did not happen. So in happening or not happening also that Bhagwan's grace is there, that we should be able to see. Anyway, Bhagwan himself says, Mat prasadat. But one line he has put, you have to do your job. Bhagwan says, I will do my job. Right? You do your job. And Bhagwan's Samanya grace, general grace is there on everyone. That's why we are able to do anything. But something special when you do and put forth efforts, then Bhagwan's special grace also comes. And Bhagwan says, then by that grace, you realize the highest eternal truth then. Mat prasad avapnoti. Arjuna understood? Yes, understood. What did you understand? That if a person does this, then he attains that. You have not understood even now. So then, therefore you should have said, therefore I must do this. See, Bhagwan is saying in third person first, right? He who does that, he attains that. Now he said, I think Arjuna has not got the point. Therefore now he comes straight. Therefore you do. Oh, it's for me. तो मैं कहेगा हवा में बात कर रहा हूँ क्या? Talking some empty space and empty air or what? Now see here. Chetasa sarva karmani Mai sanyasya matparaha Buddhi yogam upashritya Macchitta Machitta satatam bhava. So now Bhagavan is directing Arjuna, therefore bhava, you become this way. Oh, what should I do? What should I do? Bhagavan, because all of us want specific advice. So give me specific, what I should do. He says, Chetasa sarva karmani, mai sanyasya matparaha, buddhi yogam upashitya, machittaha satatam bhava. Satatam bhava, always you become, remain like what? Machittaha. Machitta means you become that person whose mind is in Bhagavan. That is called Machittaha. And ऊपर क्या लिखा है? Matparaha. And this Machittaha, Matparaha, and Matparaha means and understand me only as the supreme goal of life. So your mind also must be in me, and your intellect understand that Bhagavan only the supreme. And these two words have come in the 6th chapter also earlier. Machittaha and Matparaha. And you know, Bhagavan Shankaracharya wrote beautiful commentary there. He says, Bhavati kaschit stri chittaha. Natu striyameva paratvena grindhati. Kim tarhi rajanam mahadevam va. Ayam tu yogi machittaha matparaha. See, Bhagavan Shankara's commentary, prose is like poetry. He says, in the world we find much stri chitta, somebody's mind is in some woman only attached to some. All the time. Or it can be dhana chitta also. All the time, money, money. Then we say he's a very money-minded person. He's a power-minded person, power-hungry. Such expressions are there, no? Because his chitta is in that only. He says, he may be too much attached to a woman, but he may not consider that woman as the very supreme goal and highest truth of life and goal of life, or most important. He may know that God is greater than, his mind is there in that, attached to money, attached to this, but he knows this is not the highest. Paramatma is. So chitta is here, but paratva is somewhere. Now, he said, Ayam tu yogi machittaha matparaha. But the yogi is that his mind is in me, and also his intellect understands there is nothing greater than Bhagavan. So therefore, what happens? There is no dichotomy. There is no split. I know, this is great, but my mind. Dvandva avastha hoti hai, dolayaman. The intellectually we know this is that, but yaar kya karo isko dekha to. Bhagavan says, Machittaha bhava, matparaha bhava, and then sarva karmani mayi sanyasya, and renouncing all karmas in me. Here sanyasya means samarpya, dedicating. Dedicate all your karmas. Already also said, according to gunas, whatever your karmas are determined, do all those karmas dedicate to me. And then what? Chetasa sarva karmani means physically don't give up your karmas. Chetasa means with mind, understanding that at the physical level we will have to perform the karmas. So I understand which karmas I must perform, my kartavya karmas. So chetasa sanyasya. With chetasa, with mind, dedicate all the karmas to. And when it is sarva karmani, how will you dedicate all karmas to Bhagavan? You see, the only thing secret is you dedicate yourself to Bhagavan. When you dedicate yourself to Bhagavan, then automatically everything, whatever is yours, will be dedicated to Bhagavan only. Then where is my then? If I belong to God, then how can something else belong to me? Think. That's why he says, Machittaha matpara. Because when you become Bhagavad Chitta, then we don't have to say this is dedicated, that is dedicated. No, this is minus this. Huh? I have removed all this for myself. भगवान बाकी सब तो आपका ही है. Many times, it's very interesting, you talk to some people and they say, why don't you give some donation for this project and all that money? So आपका ही तो है. Everything yours only. I say, yes, everything except that I cannot withdraw anything from your bank account. सब आपका ही तो फिर वो आपका ही है तो फिर आपका है तो आपके पास हो या मेरे पास हो, क्या फर्क पड़ता है उसमें. सर्वकर्माणि मनसा. इंटरेस्टिंग थिंग बहुत होती है. तेरा तुझको अर्पण क्या लागे मेरा. सब कुछ होता है लेकिन थोड़ा सा माइनस करके होता है वहाँ पे थोड़ा सा. भगवान से सर्वकर्माणि तभी होगी व्हेन यू डेडिकेट योर सेल्फ टू भगवान. Then whatever you do, it will be yadyat karma karomi tattadakhilam shambho tavaradhanam. Because you are dedicated to Bhagavan, then everything is of Bhagavan, whatever you do. And buddhi yogam upashritya. Taking refuge in buddhi yoga. This buddhi yoga is nothing but karma yoga. So karma yoga is not a yoga of doing karma, but doing karma with right attitude of dedication. That is called buddhi. That's what Bhagavan, the buddhi yoga shabda here, and in second chapter also Bhagavan has used that word buddhi yoga. So buddhi yoga, it is yoga of understanding and right attitude. That karma yoga. So that means what? At the moment you are fit for doing karma yoga, you must do that. Chetasa sarva karmani mayi sanyasya matparaha buddhi yogam upashritya macchitta satatam bhava. And do you know, when the person will become Bhagavad Chitta, where is our Chitta? Where our love is, their Chitta. Chitta is a Smaranatmika Vritti. Chitta is a faculty of memory. What is that we remember? Either what we love very much we remember, or what we hate very much, that also we remember. Intensely if you hate, like Kamsa was hating, Shishupal was hating Bhagavan Shri Krishna. All the time, Krishna, the moment Krishna's name taken, 50 गालियाँ आती थी एक मिनट. Abusive words used to come there, Shishupal, but every day. Then he only used to have a cup of coffee or tea. After having abused that Krishna when many was hating him like. So when you hate someone, then you also remember. When you love someone, they also. But do you know there is a difference? When you hate someone and remember, your mind gets agitated. Angry, revenge, so many things happen. But when you remember someone with love, difference is there. When you remember God with love and devotion, you are such shanti. इसलिए विद प्यार से ही याद करना चाहिए भगवान को. रिमेंबर हिम ओनली विथ लव मच्चित्तः भगवान. देन व्हाट विल हैपन? सपोज आई डू कर्म इन दिस वे. भगवान से व्हाई सपोज? Why can't you just say, Bhagavan, thank you very much, I will just do it? Bhagavan, you don't understand. Bhagavan says, what is that I don't understand? Before doing things, I should be clear. What will happen? Suppose I do this karma in this way, what will happen? If I know it, then, it is all right. See, then I can decide also to do it or not to do it and all that. Simply just satatam bhava. What will happen? Tell me. Bhagavan says, मच्चित्त सर्वदुर्गाणि मत्प्रसादात् तरिष्यसि अथ चेत्त्वमहङ्कारात् न श्रोष्यसि विनङ्क्षसि. Now Bhagavan suddenly taking very strong attitude and he said, you all the time asking, I say, Macchittaha, if your mind is in me and then you are doing your duty, Sarva Durgani Tarishyasi Mat Prasadat. Then by my grace, you will overcome all obstacles. Durga called force also are called Durga. Dukkhena gantum shakyamiti durgam. That which is difficult to surmount, difficult to climb, difficult to overcome, that's called Durga. Now, Devi's name is Durga. What is the meaning of Durga means what? Dukkhena gantum avagantum shakya. That means incomprehensible. The one who you cannot understand her easily. Only when the mind is purified, devoted, then you will understand. But if you are devoted, then she herself is Durga. Any kind of difficulties or that you will overcome by that. So Bhagavan says, then any kind of obstacle, difficulty, challenge. Here the words, any kind of challenges, issues. There are certain issues, issues. Issues. Concern. In America, some words are like that. Whatever problems, whatever difficulties, whatever obstacles and challenges and issues and concerns that you may have, all you will overcome. Really? Yes. Really. Mat prasadat, by my grace you will overcome all. Tarishyasi. And Bhagavan suddenly, I don't know what happened to Bhagavan, and he said, Atha chetvam ahankara na shroshyasi. And I tell you, if because of your arrogance and your ego, if you do not listen to this, then what will happen? Vinangshasi. You will perish. Bhagavan, you are trying my patience? I am just telling so nicely and all that and that. And then again still you are asking, what will happen? What will happen? Already already said, Mat prasadat shashvatam padam avyayam, is that person attained? Again you are asking. If you don't listen to this, you will perish. Perish does not mean you will die. Death anyway it is coming. But Shankaracharya has beautifully said, Vinangshasi, buddhi nashat pranashyati, he said, means purushartha ayogyo bhavati. You become incapable of achieving any goal, great goal in life. And then even after getting human life, you could have liberated yourself from all bondages, but you only tighten your more bondage. That will happen here. Isn't it a great loss then? That is worse than death. Vinangshasi. You will achieve nothing. Whole your life is useless, futile. Kenopanishad says beautifully, Iha ched avedit atha satyam asti. Na ched iha avedit mahati vinashti. He says, if one knows this truth, then all is well with that person. And if he does not know, mahati vinashti. See, nashti itself means loss. Vinashti means great loss. And mahati vinashti, great loss. In this world, little for worldly opportunities, how we run about that. Only in the newspaper, some sales, you will be run there. Opportunity or sale, buying things. And यहाँ पे इतनी बड़ी opportunity to liberation. Freedom complete. देखेंगे क्या विनंक्षसी. भगवान से अतचेत्वम अहंकारा न श्रोष्यसि विनंक्षसी. Bhagwan, Bhagwan, yes. Doesn't matter if I perish. What is harm? You see, there are some people who like that. If I do not do this, and I do not fight this battle and all that, according to you, I will die. I will perish. What different meanings are there? Doesn't matter. But at least I will do what I want to do then. And I don't want to do this. Doesn't matter. It is sometimes some person gets so angry with someone, I have to kill him. But if you kill him, then you will have to go to jail and death penalty. Oh, dekha jayega. Doesn't matter. But he must be finished. Marunga to marunga. When it comes alive. Doesn't matter. Usi par koi doesn't matter. Vinangshasi. So again. But at least I will free myself from doing this battle work and all that. Bhagavan says, you think you have got that kind of freedom? My dear Arjuna, you have not understood psychology even little. You don't know. What, Bhagavan? What? You want to hear? Swabhavajena. Bhagavan said, Yad ahankaramashritya na yotsya iti manyase mithyaisha vyavasayaste prakrutistvām niyokshati. I said, Yad ahankaram ashritya. Ahankaram ashritya, because of your own ego, false pride, arrogance, wrong notions and all that, yat manyase, what you think, na yotsya. The earlier one, na yotsya iti govinda muktva tushtim babhuvaha, I shall not fight. And he just said that you think that you will not fight, mithyaisha vyavasayaste. This resolve of yours or this thought of yours is false. Illusion only. Why? Prakrutistvām niyokshati. The Prakriti, the nature will force you to do that. You understand? No, Bhagavan. Listen to the next sloka also then. Swabhavajena kaunteya nibaddhasvena karmana kartum nechasi yanmohat karishyasya vashopi tat. Kaunteya, you don't know. Swabhavajena svena karmana nibaddha. Actually, you are bound. Bound by the karmas born of your own nature. Of janma janmanta sanskar, the kshatra, dharma, guna, that which is there in you, you think that it will go away just like that. You are bound by that nature. And now kartum nechasi yan mohat, mohat because of avivek, because of your lack of discrimination, all that, what you don't want to do that, karishyasi, that only you will do. Avashopi. Helplessly you will do that then. Today you may escape from here. Tomorrow you will do the same thing then. Because that Prakriti will not allow you to keep quiet. You know, there was a group of some sannyasis. They were going from place to place. At one place, one man came to them. He said, Maharaj, I also want to join you and travel with you wherever you go. Is it all right? They say, okay, all right. So he went with them. And they stayed in with one dharmashala, chaul tree and all that. And then they went other places, resting places and all that. And what they found, in the morning when they used to get up, their things were always misplaced. This sannyasis kamandulu disappearing, it is there. This man is jap mala gone there, somebody's asanam gone somewhere. Nothing was missing, but never in its own place. So sannyasi is sleeping. They didn't understand what is this happening, you know. They thought. Then one person said, ever since this man has joined, this is happening. Earlier everything was all right. So let us see, you know, what happens. So they said, decided, when they go to sleep, one will keep awake and see what happens. So keep vigil. So night 2 o'clock, that man got up. And he did this. He has to have different places, and then slept. And next day they caught hold of him. He says, you, what is this? You are doing all these things, you know. Huh? Why? What is the matter? He says, Maharaj, please forgive me. You know, I am a professional thief. Oh. But you know, I want to change myself. So really I am making effort to change. That's why I am joining you. So every daytime is fine. But the moment it is night, my hand starts itching. So I have to do something, you know, something to stay. See, I am not stealing, you see. Only misplacing things here and there and all that. Why? Swabhavajena nibaddha svena karma. I am bound by my nature only. And therefore, even if I just don't want to do, but something happens and then I start doing it. Huh? Automatic. Built in hota hai phir. So then, karishyasi, you will do that only. So then, instead of doing that way, later on and doing that, when the right moment is there, whatever your duties are there, if you do in the right attitude, then what? This will be exhausted, and then you will grow out of that, and then you will realize that, why? Afterwards, what if you do, what is the use? So therefore, that's what the meaning is, vinangshasi. And if you say, so what? Let me perish, so what? But I can avoid, you cannot avoid it. Because your prakriti is not that. Your prakriti will force you that. Now at our physical level only you just think. Now suppose you decide, I will not yawn. Mithyaisha vyavasayaste. The moment Swamiji starts the lecture, here also. And you try to stop it on that. Can you do that? Because prakriti. Sneeze. Wait. Try. So when you are sleepy or when you are hungry and all that, try. You will not feel hungry. Try. So at the physical, our mind is much more subtle than this. And all those vasana force, force of vasana, अच्छे को रुला देता है, हिला देता है. हाँ. Adi virakta purusha also become asakta bhava. Where it will, if the original nature is that, it will show its prowess. Swabhavajena kaunteya nibaddhasvena karmana kartum nechasi yanmohat karishyasi avashopi tat. Now, so somebody may say, that means Swabhava is all powerful. There is no one more powerful than Swabhava. No one more powerful than this Prakriti. Doubt will come. Bhagavan says, There is someone who is more powerful than all Swabhava of Prakriti. And who is that? Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hriddeshe Arjuna Tishtati Brahmayan Sarva Bhutani Yantrarudhani Mayaya. So remember, there is someone even higher than all the individual people's Swabhava or total Swabhava, total Prakriti, and that is called Ishvaraha. How this sequence is so beautifully it is given here. Sometimes, we don't get the idea suddenly why Ishvara Sarvabhutana has come. Because when it is Swabhava and Prakriti will make you do, so is it that is all powerful? There is no one more powerful? He said, there is powerful under whose control is this Swabhava Prakriti. And therefore Arjuna, instead of remaining under the sway of Prakriti, you must remain under the control of Ishvara. And what Ishvara says that you should do, isn't it? Then only you can overcome this Prakriti and all that. Otherwise you are bound. Ishvaraha sarva bhutanam hriddeshe Arjuna tishtati. Hey Arjuna, Ishvara the Lord is there in the heart of all beings. Tishtati, stand. Brahmayan sarva bhutani, revolving all these beings. Yantra rudhani, they are mounted on machines as with their equipment. Maya with his all power. In other words, with his power, all the jivas living in their body, mind, intellect and all that, they are performing actions and all that. Samajhiye? That Paramatma is a higher one. So, if you want to release from your bondage, only, that's the next sloka he will say, that you have to seek refuge in that Bhagavan. But here's something interesting. Tishtati. One man came to me once. I said, Swamiji, here it is said, Ishvara sarva bhutanam hriddeshe Arjuna tishtati. In Sanskrit, tishtati means standing. Bhagavan is standing in the hearts of all beings. Why is he standing? I said, I never thought about it, But I think tishtati means what? Nivasati, that's all actually. He dwells there. That's all the meaning is that Ishvara dwells in the hearts of all beings. He said, no. I said, then you tell me why he's standing. He said, he's standing looking for an opportunity to run from his mind. Because there is such commotion that is going on in the minds of all the jivas that Bhagavan is saying, when do I get chance and I exit from here, Like I remember one scientist, Edison was there, He never liked going to parties and all that, but he had to go to parties and he was getting bored and all that. So slowly he wanted to escape. But that host suddenly saw him and he said, oh, Mr. Edison, so nice you came here. Oh, you experienced so many things, you discovered many things. What is that you are working on now? He said, on my exit. So I am working on my exit. So Bhagavan also is working on the exit. And don't you know there are so many people want to exit, they others sit near the exit. And also, I cannot. Generally they ask also, can I sit at the back, So whenever I want to go, I can go out. And on the church on notice board, there was a notice. Come early if you want to have a good back seat. So he said, Ishvara sarvabhutanam hrideshe Arjuna tishtati, standing. But, I get some wonderful people, So one man said like that, why he's standing? To run away. But other man was standing there. He said, no. No, it's not that. Then Bhagavan standing, why? Because he's standing in the hearts of all, isn't it? So some people maybe whose mind has a lot of trouble, so he wants to go away from there. But in the Hridaya Bhaktas also he is standing there, isn't it? So then what about that? So he said he's standing there. You know why? Because the devotees are such, they never ask for anything. So Bhagavan is waiting. He wants to do something for them. That if the devotee desires something, I will run and do it for him. Oh, what a beautiful thing. And that you see in Ramayana. I don't know everything, why it reminds me of Ramayana only. Because Ramayana is everything. See, Sita ji never asked anything. And one day she saw a golden deer. And she said, Ram, Mother Anunadya, Harina Ayodhya Natha, oh, I want that fire. And Bhagavan literally ran or not? Immediately, Jehi vidhi kuranga sanga dhai chale Shri Ram. Such beautiful meanings are also there. Ishvara sarva bhutana. Hrideshe Arjuna tishtati. Brahmayan sarva bhutani yantra rudhani maya. All the jivas are doing all their karmas. How? Mounted on body, mind, senses, intellect and all that. But it is with Bhagavan's power only they are doing everything. If that power is not there, a big wrestler may be there or not. Or big scientist may be there or not. Can do nothing. That Bhagavan is all powerful. Higher than Prakriti. Higher than that, all this Swabhava. Understand, Arjuna? Yes. Therefore, seek refuge in him. That is the next sloka we'll see in the evening. It's a very, very beautiful topic now. So, before I conclude, I have to tell you something. There is always something to tell. Oh, Swamiji, we know. You are a salesman. So you may be saying, so, oh, no salesman. Today I am not selling any book and all that. But remember, as you came, you got one envelope. You got it? If you are not got, you get it. And inside there is a form also. And you all are very highly educated people, so everything is written there. And you are used to fill up more complicated forms. For tax returns and IRS and all the business and all that. So this is nothing. A child's play. Kata, 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 kata. Only one column is there, how much donation you will give. That there only have to stop and think and then do it. Baki to easy hai. And that donation is called Guru Dakshina. I don't have to explain because you are sitting here, all the benefits of all donations only. So when you give to Chinmay Mission, you are also Chinmay Mission member, so you are giving to yourself only. And even if you are not a member, but you are getting the benefit of all activities, all programs, all that. And not only here, but you go to any Chinmay Mission center anywhere all over the world, you have to say one password. You know what is our password? Hari Om, and then immediately everything will open. Our password. And the way you say Hari Om, immediately they know it's a Chinmay Mission man. Because Chinmay Mission people say Hari Om in a different way. So therefore, our password is Hari Om. So anywhere you are welcome, right? So this is what when you give, more larger number of people are benefited. And what you give, this becomes my Guru Dakshina to Gurudev. You understand? So, and then his work, here in Houston itself and other places where the work, they're only utilized. And I want to tell you something, and that is, we had a World Workers Conference in Chinmay Vibhuti. And this year we are celebrating Puja Gurudev's birth centenary, and our slogan is, unto him our best. And then I mentioned there, you see our Chinmay Vibhuti, Chinmay Jivan Darshan, very huge, we have got their total exhibition there. Those of you who have gone and seen, so they know. But everybody cannot go there and see. So what I said, wherever it is possible, in any Chinmay Mission Center, in India, abroad, with a smaller, bigger scale, they should have one exhibition of Gurudev's Jivan Darshan. Depending upon what place they have. So in our Delhi also they have got Chinmay Chetna, like in Chennai also they have got, in Kasaragod have got. So wherever possible they do. It can be one room only, or one hall, or what, if it is possible to do. So that wherever the people are there, they can know Gurudev's life, work, his message. And when you go there, you can see that also. I am very happy to announce that our Chinmay Mission, Houston, has, taken up this project enthusiastically, and here we are going to have Jivan Darshan, Chinmay Jivan Darshan. And our Darshana Ben always is very, very creative, and she has thought very beautifully about that and how it is. She says, as we all who are studying Puja Gurudev's books on our scriptures, we know he always glorified our scriptures and the messages therein. So in Chinmay Jivan Darshan, we want to portray Puja Gurudev's words and messages of our scriptures in a unique way to appeal to our multimedia generation. So it's not only just photography, he was born as a child, and this, not only that, but more emphasis on his teaching. So how it will be, I do not know. But I know when she is doing so, it will be something unique only. And it will be wonderful. So all that we get here about these donations also, and all that will be utilized for various purposes. So this is also one of the very interesting and important project. So here also you will have darshan, the vision, direct experience, of that Gurudev's teaching in different ways. Okay, that also you can support. In the so many activities are going on. We have got Chinmay Vibhuti in India. Similar also we want to have in the United States also, at some national level. We call that project as Chinmay Mangalam. How, where, how, when, how it will, slowly it will be unfolded. Immediately don't come to me and ask so many questions about that, okay? Everything happens slowly. Then again, as you see, an organization has to be a dynamic organization, right? And because keeping the present generation, future generation in mind, and also Puja Gurudev's vision also in mind, keeping in that. So, when Chinmay International Foundation was formed in Kerala, the Gurudev also had mentioned that we should have one Sanskrit university. So he only just mentioned Sanskrit university, but if something like that comes, don't immediately come to me, immediately don't come. These are called pipelines. So many things can be in pipeline. So we want to have, but how, when, how, only it is Sukshma Sharira level it is. Not Sthula Sharira. When something more concrete comes, we will tell you how it happens, what it is and not. So here, our Gaurang Bhai is here. He will know anyway, and then he will communicate to you about various things what we are doing. About Chinmay Jyoti, you know already. It is traveling here. In India also it's traveling in 237 places. And on 31st December, it will come to Chinmay Vibhuti, and we will put permanent Jyoti there in Ganesh temple there. So that is also for mass contact awareness, that work is going on very well. And I thank you all very, very much for your devoted, dedicated, support to Chinmay Mission Houston and Chinmay Mission Global. Thank you very much. Now, I think I have mentioned, now this Guru Dakshina, you can give in the evening today, because some people may come only for Sunday. Otherwise, tomorrow, Monday, is the last lecture. Then after that also it can be given. Okay? Acha. Now, let us sing. Now, what shall we sing today? I will sing one line twice, and then you also sing it twice. Okay? Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरिः ओम। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम।